The Kansas City Chiefs might look like they're cruising towards another Super Bowl, but don't be fooled. Beneath the surface, they're facing challenges that could derail their season if they don't act fast. Today, we're diving into 3 major stories surrounding the Chiefs. First, we'll look at how head coach Andy Reid is signaling the need for new signings to bolster their roster amid rising injuries. Then, we'll cover the unsettling news of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce's homes being burglarized. And finally, we'll preview their upcoming Week 12 matchup against the Carolina Panthers, a game that could be trickier than it seems. Can the Chiefs hold it together, or are they closer to a breaking point than they appear? Let's find out. Despite their dominant start to the season, the Kansas City Chiefs are not resting on their laurels. In recent interviews, head coach Andy Reid has made it clear that the team is keeping its options open and may bring in another player to bolster the roster as they gear up for a deep playoff run. The reason behind this potential move? A troubling surge of injuries that could threaten the team's ability to maintain their position as one of the top contenders in the AFC. Let's take a closer look at what's really going on behind the scenes. Injuries have been piling up, particularly on the offensive line and among the receiving corps. This has created a precarious situation for quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who's already been under more pressure this season compared to previous years. One of the most significant blows came when rookie tackle Wanya Morris, who had been filling in for some of the more experienced offensive linemen, went down with a knee injury. Morris was showing promise, but his absence leaves a glaring hole in the Chiefs' offensive line. This, in turn, could lead to Mahomes facing more pressure in the pocket, making it harder for him to execute the offense effectively. The wide receiver situation is also causing some headaches for the Chiefs. Rookie Rashee Rice has shown flashes of brilliance, but has also been battling lingering injuries throughout the season. The Chiefs' receiving corps hasn't been as effective as it was last year, partly because Mahomes hasn't had a fully healthy set of weapons at his disposal. This inconsistency among receivers has forced Mahomes to scramble more often, trying to make plays on the fly rather than relying on structured routes and timing plays. The AFC playoff race is heating up, with teams like the Ravens and Dolphins breathing down Kansas City's neck. At this point in the season, every game matters, and a single misstep could cost the Chiefs their top seed in the AFC, which would mean losing out on the crucial home field advantage in the playoffs. That's why Andy Reid and the front office are exploring their options to bring in another veteran player before the trade window closes. So who are the Chiefs targeting? There are quite a few names being floated around as potential signings. One of the most talked about possibilities is veteran wide receiver T.Y. Hilton. Although Hilton may not be the deep threat he once was, he's still an excellent route runner with reliable hands. Bringing in someone like Hilton could provide Mahomes with another trusted target, especially in critical third down situations where the Chiefs have struggled at times this season. Another name that has come up is Donovan Smith, an experienced offensive lineman who played a pivotal role in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl run a couple of seasons ago. Adding Smith could help solidify the offensive line, giving Mahomes more time in the pocket to make plays. A more protected Mahomes is a more dangerous Mahomes, and with the postseason just around the corner, keeping him upright and healthy will be crucial. But why does a mid-season signing matter so much? Let's not forget that the Chiefs made a similar move last season when they acquired Kadarius Toney from the New York Giants. Toney's impact was almost immediate, as he contributed significantly in key moments during the postseason, helping the Chiefs secure yet another Super Bowl victory. This year, the Chiefs are hoping that another strategic signing could provide that same kind of spark to propel them through the playoffs. The stakes couldn't be higher. With other AFC contenders like the Baltimore Ravens and Miami Dolphins looking stronger than ever, the Chiefs need to do everything they can to stay one step ahead. If they don't address these injuries and depth concerns, they could find themselves in a much tougher position come January. Playing on the road in the playoffs, especially in hostile environments like Baltimore or Miami, is a challenge the Chiefs would rather avoid. And how exactly would adding another receiver help Mahomes and the offense? Right now, defenses are focusing their efforts on shutting down Travis Kelce. The star tight end is being double-teamed on nearly every play, which forces Mahomes to look elsewhere. However, without another consistent receiving threat, those options are limited. If the Chiefs can bring in a reliable veteran like Hilton, it would force defenses to adjust their coverage, potentially freeing up Kelce for more explosive plays downfield. Moreover, adding another offensive lineman could be the difference between Mahomes having the time to find his receivers or being forced to scramble and improvise on nearly every down. With Wanya Morris out and other linemen banged up, the Chiefs cannot afford to risk Mahomes' health by leaving him exposed to unnecessary hits. The more protection he has, the more likely he is to find his rhythm and lead the offense to big plays. Looking ahead, the Chiefs know that every decision they make now will have a direct impact on their playoff prospects. Andy Reid's willingness to explore adding another player signals just how seriously the organization is taking this season. They know they have the talent to go all the way, but to do so, they'll need to make sure their roster is fully equipped for the challenges that lie ahead. But as the Chiefs look to bolster their roster, they're also facing unexpected distractions off the field. With the pressure mounting, Mahomes and Kelce recently found themselves dealing with a different kind of challenge that no one saw coming. Stay tuned, because up next, we'll dive into the unsettling news about the recent break-ins at the homes of Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, and how it's impacting the team as they gear up for the crucial stretch of the season. Imagine this. You've just finished a grueling game, giving it your all on the field. You're exhausted, and the only thing on your mind is getting some rest and preparing for the next challenge. But when you arrive home, you're faced with a shocking reality. Your house has been broken into. This is the situation that both Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce found themselves in recently, and it's one that no athlete should have to face. According to reports, Mahomes' house was the first to be targeted by thieves. They attempted to break in through a side window, but fortunately, Mahomes' alarm system went off, causing the intruders to flee before they could steal anything of value. While it's a relief that nothing major was taken, the experience was still a jarring one for the Mahomes family. No one expects their sanctuary to be violated like that, especially when they're at the peak of their careers and living in the public eye. Travis Kelce, unfortunately, wasn't as fortunate. The burglars succeeded in breaking into his home and made off with several high-value items, including electronics and collectibles. These items weren't just regular possessions. They were valuable, personalized mementos. Sources close to Kelce have indicated that since the break-in, he's taken extra precautions and upped security around his property. For Mahomes and Kelce, staying mentally sharp is critical. With the Chiefs gearing up for a postseason run, both players need to focus on their game and avoid distractions that could affect their performance. As natural leaders on the team, Mahomes and Kelce are known for their composure under pressure. But facing such a violation of privacy could still shake even the most mentally tough athletes. And with the playoffs just around the corner, any form of distraction could prove costly. The Chiefs organization is fully aware of the situation. They've stepped up security for all their players and are working closely with local law enforcement to prevent any future incidents. However, the real challenge lies in whether Mahomes and Kelce can mentally move past this disturbing event. They've been through a lot together, but now, more than ever, they need to stay locked in for the team's success. As the Chiefs continue to push forward in their quest for another Super Bowl, it remains to be seen how these off-field issues might impact their star players. The organization is doing everything it can to provide support. But with critical games approaching, the mental resilience of Mahomes and Kelce will be tested in ways they might not have anticipated. And speaking of upcoming challenges, the Chiefs are about to face a test that could prove more difficult than it seems. Up next, we'll dive into their Week 12 showdown against the Carolina Panthers. Could this be the game that shifts the momentum in the AFC? Stay tuned. Coming up in Week 12, The Kansas City Chiefs are set to face the Carolina Panthers, a team that might be sitting at a 2-7 record, but don't be fooled. This is not a matchup the Chiefs can afford to take lightly. The Panthers have been surprisingly competitive in several games this season, and they've shown that they can be dangerous despite their underwhelming record. First, let's talk about the Panthers' defense. Led by pass rusher Brian Burns, they've managed to disrupt offenses throughout the season. Burns has the ability to wreak havoc on opposing quarterbacks, and if the Chiefs' offensive line isn't on its A-game, Patrick Mahomes could find himself under heavy pressure. With injuries to key offensive linemen, including rookie Wanya Morris, the Chiefs need to make sure they give Mahomes the protection he needs to succeed.